Howdy folks, I'm Tom Blavely. I've got a hot 10 minutes to talk to you about London1940.org. If you'd like the slides from this, apesdk.com/doc, and you'll see where you can download the slides from. London1940.org is a project basically that I'm looking for someone else to take on. It's a fascinating project. It's a project which has a storied history with regards to people that are London obsessed. I have a wide variety of artifacts that I actually debated showing, but with the hot 10 minutes, I don't think I have a chance to show. But for me, it was incredibly interesting to create a simulation environment for London in 1940. Obviously, you've got the Battle of Britain that's going on at the same time. When I put that in there, there was pushback. So I moved it from simulating Sea Lion to just simulating London 1940 with the slight possibility of war. Let's just put that out there. Anyway, bunch of storied people like John Rogers. He does the Walking London YouTube videos. A fan of my work. Shout outs to John. And really, it was interesting because there's a factor of reality and mythology, which I'm going to go completely off the slides and just talk about. The idea is that there are these periods of time. The Franco-Prussian War is a good example of that. There are a bunch of wars, anything associated with the Napoleonic period, where basically it becomes more mythology than history. It's written down as history, but who can really tell if it's actually history? The same thing is true with regards to the Second World War. There aren't many people living who actually experienced the Second World War now, and they're recounting, kind of Dad's Army like stuff. The Home Guard in the UK, every town in the UK has a Home Guard. Many of them published histories associated with the Home Guard. So you're dealing with this strange situation where if you can't get the data's incorrect, then you're really moving into a realm where it's mythology. Now, interestingly, I put the maps of London and surrounds online. I got them from the Library of Scotland. I did some manipulation to them, released them under the Creative Commons license. So what London was in terms of geography, in terms of the physical buildings and what have you, I've got the data for that. My friend Bob Mottram, who's an industrial roboticist, wrote a parsing algorithm for that. We've got a lot of the details out, particularly with regards to train tracks and things like that, but still the underlying element of the building structures is what has eluded us, and this is for people that are good with regards to ML for geometries. There are certain techniques with ML for geometries that would enable really detailed internals for the building, so that's one of the requirements if you're interested in working on this, that you have some knowledge associated with that. So what is interesting is that for me personally, through COVID, my daughters arrived. My daughters are COVID children, fundamentally the second disease they ever had, the second after the cold that they got in the first 3 months, they got COVID. And that, I think, really changed my thinking and my perspective. It really did with regards to, I have a lot of Second World War related literature. I have literally the document that turned the Hitler Youth into the Waffen SS. That was a phenomena it was first written in 1940, I think, just as a piece of information that would go, out to a variety of folk. But I've got quite a large collection of Second World War, including a map for the bombing of Britain. I've been able to acquire a number of these things through COVID. But now I have twin daughters. This all seems more esoteric, basically. So my view is, if you're interested in this stuff, if you want to email me, that's my email address, and I'm more than happy to take any correspondence with regards to London 1940. Put London 1940 in the title, and I'm happy to share the data with you and talk about hopefully someone taking on this project. I hate to put things out in the ether, but I was talking with Carl Harrington recently in one of these Last Monkey Standing videos, and he pointed out that the only way you can do it is by doing that. You put all the resources online, you put the software online, you release it open source, you do all those things, but it still requires a few bright sparks to come past and pick it up. London was at a fascinating period in the 1940s. You were still dealing fundamentally with Victorian-style professions. So I've done mappings of that. I've done mappings of how you get 8.5 million agents, because that's the number of people that were in London at the time. And the really interesting thing is that the telephone directory, which is a document that's absolutely critical if you want to start doing agent modeling in any environment is still proprietary. It's owned by Ancestry.com and British Telecom, two unlikely bedfellows, but they basically do not allow this PDF to be OCR'd, so I could use it to actually place where the jewelers were and where the people would shoe horses and all these kind of things in London. People making pottery and wooden plates and things like that. Just fascinating series of professions. But I have no ability to map that onto London fundamentally, which means that this whole thing is mythology. London 1940 is fundamentally mythology because you have to guess where people worked and then run a simulation accordingly. If this sounds something that's interesting to you, here I am again. Please get in contact via email, and I'll be more than happy to correspond with you if you're interested in London 1940. Tom Bublé in Las Vegas, Nevada, signing out.